What is up, all? Welcome back to Mindset Bites. This is episode 55. I am your host, Christina Rogers. Thank you so much for being here. So stoked that you are here today. I've got a special one for you. I posted a reel last week, I think it was, about giving up and almost throwing in the towel and saying F it. And I want to talk about that today because I think that is a relatable experience for a lot of us, whether that's our relationship, our business, our personal life, just wanting to sit and rot on the couch all day versus kind of chasing after what it is that we want for ourselves. And it comes down to this being a form of self-sabotage, which I didn't really realize until it was happening to me, and realizing that this is actually a pattern for me. So I want to kind of dial back real quick. When I hired my friend, who is also a personal trainer, to train me, my biggest goal was to have visible abs by the time I hit my birthday at the end of this month, which is in a couple of days. And a few weeks ago, I got to the point where I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. I was staying consistent. I was working out really hard. And I wasn't seeing the progress that I was hoping I would make as quickly as I wanted to. I had this picture in my head about why I was doing what it was that I was doing. And maybe it was a little bit selfish. Maybe I wanted to look a certain way, but I never slowed down to really think about why. Why did I want visible abs by the time I turned 36? Okay. I can't believe I'm turning 36 in a few days. It's kind of crazy. I think this episode is going to be for the person that falls off track. And whether it's your routine, your business, something that you want to do in your personal life, but you just can't get yourself there. And I think this is a struggle for a lot of people with ADHD too. I want to just say this: consistency isn't about willpower. It's about having clarity. I think I get caught up in that a lot too. Like, you need a deeper vision. And what I realized about myself as far as wanting to throw in the towel or not stay consistent or just say, F it, I'm going to go eat a bunch of cookies and who cares about having visible abs by the time I hit my birthday? It's a form of not having the deeper clarity as to knowing why you're doing something, to be able to remain consistent when the progress isn't there. And I think we forget about that. We forget to ask ourselves why we want the things that we want. And maybe we're a little bit afraid to get honest with ourselves about why we want those things. To be fair, I think that I was afraid to say I wanted those things because I was afraid of the way that people would perceive that. Oh, you're self-centered. You want visible abs because you want people to think something about you. And it really came down to something completely different when I got real with myself. Because I've done a decent amount of work this year around my own inner healing, whether that's my gut health stuff, whether that's doing shadow work, whether that's going back to therapy, whether that's doing EMDR style therapy. I healed a lot of internal wounds this year that came up the previous year. And I have been feeling so much better internally, but I don't feel like my outside matches my inside. And I think that is something that's deeper, and we can go into that another time. But I kind of wanted to give you the broad scope of things. And it made me realize that when I was younger, I remembered the version of me who always saw her body as an unhealthy reflection of a very chaotic internal world. I struggled a lot with emotional eating and my weight and the way that I looked. I think that was probably a result of not accepting myself as a whole. I really struggled with coming out and my sexuality and gender identity and how I show up as a human being in the world, because I felt different. I always thought that if I could train my body in a way that made me look strong, that no one could touch me. And that's so like messed up to really like think about. But now that I've healed so much internally, my body is a reflection of how I want to feel about myself, me feeling good in my own body and being proud of myself. And that was my deeper reason. And I think I just needed to find the clarity on that. And maybe I'm oversharing a little bit, but I think maybe it's a little bit relatable because I think we forget to connect with the part of ourselves that felt really hurt or unheard, and really figuring out the root of why we do some of the things that we do and letting that drive us. Like, once I started thinking about the little girl that I was doing this for, it didn't matter if I had a visible six-pack once I turned 36. What mattered was I put in the work for her. And God, I'm getting a little bit emotional like thinking about it, but like I'm so proud of her. And yeah, I just wanted to show her that like it's possible, that you can feel strong internally and externally at the same time. Yeah, I'm getting off track now. But if you want help clarifying your why and really connecting to those parts of you, it's something that I talk about in my newsletter that gets sent out every Thursday now. I want your why to be something that keeps you going. Like, when I really stop and think about why I do what I do, it's because I want to help people connect with the version of themselves that wasn't heard or seen or valued, and have them realize that like that's actually what's driving them to do some of the unhealthy things that they do in their lives. And yeah, it's kept them safe, but I also think it's a form of self-sabotage to not really get clear on why you're doing the things that you do, and really starting to heal those parts of yourself and get clarity on things. Ask yourselves the questions that you're too afraid to answer, because that's where the depth is. That's where the vision is. That's where your why is. I dropped 3 quick prompts in this week's Mind Ascend newsletter. So if you want access to that, I'm going to put it in the show notes. It's a weekly thing that goes out. You can unsubscribe at any time. But I just want to say that when motivation fades, your why doesn't. But if you don't have a clear why, you're always going to be inconsistent because your motivation comes and goes. So we need to find something for you to anchor yourself into. That's a bigger reason about why you're here, why you're in this relationship, why you are here on earth, what your calling is, what your business model is, like what your goals are as a person. Like, there needs to be a deeper why. And I think I missed that point for the beginning part of my business. And that's why I couldn't stay consistent. That's why I still struggle with consistency. I have to anchor myself into my why almost every day. Every day when I wake up, I got to think about that why. So find it, and then you'll stop quitting on yourself. Or maybe you won't quit on yourself as often, because it will be an internal driver for you. But anyways, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for letting me get a little bit emotional. Wasn't really expecting that. But I hope y'all have a great week, and we will do it again next time.